Hi, I'm Kelly at Book and Paper Arts, and today I'm going to show how to make mini journals, little blank books, using a single sheet of paper. It's called a Meander fold. I have seen the Meander fold demonstrated online through the years so many times, and it never spoke to me. And only recently, as I've been doing deeper dives into book structures, I wondered, maybe the Meander fold isn't the problem. Maybe it's that white sheet of paper that they were using that just put me off. And I could take that idea and use different kinds of papers. I could use different kinds of covers. And turn it into something that I really love. And I did. So I hope that you'll stick with me, learn how to do this super easy fold, one sheet of paper, no sewing, and get some ideas of how to make books that have your own ideas, and you'll be off and running. If you would like a chance to win these 3 mini journals, I am doing a giveaway and a drawing. I'm going to be doing the drawing next week. Join me at the end of the video. I will tell you how to get into that drawing, and possibly some happy mail will be on its way to you soon. If you like journal arts, if you like book and paper arts, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and be sure and turn on the notifications, and you will have more of them in your life. Let's go make some journals. Before we look at how to turn different papers and card into the variations of the Meander book, let's look at the basic format of the Meander book. The least amount that you need is paper. I'm using watercolor paper, but you use what you got. It could be text, it could be copier paper, cardstock, whatever you got. A straight edge is going to help, and something to cut with. Today I'm going to be using my scalpel, but my craft knife, but you could use scissors, especially if you're working with kids, or heck, you could just tear the thing. Your paper needs to be square. This one is rectangular, so to make it square, I'm going to fold corner to edge up here. You know how to do this. Then I've gone off and I'm drawing this line here so that when I open it up, I can see where I need to trim. Yep. Now I've got a square. First, fold it in half. Use whatever straight edge you have, a bone folder, ruler, because you want to see where those lines are. Fold from the bottom up to that middle fold, increase, turn it around and fold up to the middle fold and crease. Now turn it around the other way, fold it in half, crease, and the same thing here. I don't know, what are those, paw marks? Could be. Would not be the first time. And I'm just making sure that my fold lines match up with each other before I crease. So you've got a grid here. And what you want to do when you have the grid is count 3 squares. 1, 2, 3 from the bottom. And I'm going to mark here. Now, this will be our first row. Our second row, 1, 2, 3 in the other direction. And then for our last row, 1, 2, 3, like the first. This will become clearer in just a sec. Hold on. Now I want to trim or cut 1, 2, 3 squares up to that dot, but then you're going to leave this final square in place. So, oh blast. Tab, and this one's anchored in place. The second row, this time we went this way, now we're going to go this way. So along that line, leave this one anchored and cut the other 3. And then on the top, back again the other way. So we've got this way, and this way, and this way, and this way. That was as hard as it gets. Now start folding, like an accordion fold or a fan fold. When you get to this corner, just go with a natural fold. Fold down, fan fold down, and hey presto, that is your basic book format. And is it cute? Now let's look at the first variation on our book structure, which is just making your basic Meander book, folio text block, into a little book. It's just a little blank book, a tiny journal. These would make fantastic presents. And you know what? If it's this small, it would even be a really cute ornament to hang off of something, especially if you do seasonal. The first thing to look at when we are trying to make this into a little book with a cover is, how are we going to orient all this? And there are so many, they're all right. There's so many different ways and they're all right. It just depends on you. You can go with this sort of semi-accordion book for some projects. I actually really like these tighter, smaller pages. That's just my style. So to go with that, this is going to be where we glue it to the cover. So we got your single guy over here. And basically, I'm just going to go in and glue the back of every other page to every other page to make a thicker, more robust, small page. This one went like that. You can use PVA craft glue or Mod Podge, or matte medium. I am happy with a glue stick today because of the small size. And it works just fine. So just go back. Okay, when you get here, you go there. And so just da, 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 da. Now those are all glued to each other and it is wrangled. Nice and tidy. ready to go to work. For a cover, you can use any kind of a cardstock or a separate piece of paper. Let's see. I'm using a page from a scrapbook pad. I don't use these a whole lot, but boy, if you need them, they are fantastic. And this one has these botanical prints, and they're double-sided, which is really nice. So I've got this. This is going to be the cover. I'm coming over to the edge here and putting my block down, and I want to leave just a tiny bit, maybe 1/8 of an inch on this side, over here, and on the top. I'm just going to do that to the eyeball, just like you would have with a real book cover that hangs over just the tiniest amount. Okay, so draw the line here where the edge is. You can see there is some bulk there. I want to make sure I build it in, so put my spine on that line, draw off where it comes to, and then around on the other side, and add about 1/8 of an inch or 1/2 of a millimeter. Now I'm just gonna let's see if that's about right. Let's see, that's 2.5, 2.5. It's pretty close. It's gonna do. So now I'm gonna cut this. And this is my cover. Okay, so that's where our spine's going to go. I'm going to fold that nice and crisp. This is the other edge where the spine's going to go. And then just reverse fold. To assemble, I am going to glue this outside wing to the inside. I think it looks better that way. To the inside here. Line up the edge of your spine. I'm going to add some glue to the spine. And then glue to the back wing. And now I'm just going to let that, I'm going to put this under some heavy books and let it dry for about 10 minutes. And it's finished. It's just a perfect little book with a cover. For the next variation, it's also, this one has a self tie, which is part of the book itself. And for the papers, I'm using a sheet of that double-sided scrapbook pad. Light cardstock, so it's going to give the book a different heft and style. I've already marked this off, trimmed it, so now I'm going to start folding. Accordion fold, fan fold, and there is the text block, and it's got lovely designs on both sides. This one with an open spine. And I'm not going to glue this one down. I probably would in real life, but I'm just going to leave this one open so you can see how the book looks with the accordion-ish fold. For the cover, since it's going to be an open spine, I just need a front and a back. 2 cards. I cut these out of a contrasting piece of the scrapbook pad. And again, I just went around, measured the square, but just leaving a teeny tiny 1/8 of an inch or less, 0.5 millimeter on either side. I think I like the blue on the outside. So that's going to be my cover. To add the covers, before I add the covers, let's see. Before I add the covers, I am also going to go and add this self-tie ribbon. I'm using some sari silk ribbon, but you could use any kind of ribbon or lace or twine that you have. So I want to make sure I've got it in the middle there. And so again, this page that I'm going to be gluing to the card is this single guy here, just the wing. Although you could do it any way you like. Now I'm putting the glue here on this page. Nice thick amount. I'm going to go over that with my sari silk. Going to open that up a little bit. Smudge it into place. Make sure it's tacked down with that glue. That layer of glue. And now I'm going to go and add a little bit more on top of it. The ribbon. And add that just like that. I'm going to pull this over the open spine and do the same thing to the back. Just pull that down, flatten it out. Add a little bit more glue to the top of the ribbon. And carefully put that into place, making sure that you've got just a little bit of edge on any side that you're looking at. And I'm going to go weigh that down for a minute. Now it's all set. Got your open spine with the ribbon across the back. Just a little bit of hanging out over the edge there for the covers. And your self-tie. You could just tie it here like a clasp, with a big bow, or you could even go around it and add a little more oomph. So many ways you can tie it. I don't need to tell you how to do that. Here's another variation. Here I've taken a brown paper bag and I've turned it into a Meander book, and you can see that I have glued some of the pages to make them a little more robust. And the great thing about this is you could actually use this. You could put this in your bag or your art kit and then just have the tiny little sketchbook for emergencies, as one does. What I've done to make it just a little bit more sturdy and to add some interest is I've put kind of a half cover here with just some text. I inked up the edges and just glued it across the spine. It's good to go. I'm going to do something similar here. This is a Meander book that I've made from a single handwritten page. If you don't happen to have a handwritten page, you don't need one. You could use text or patterned paper or white paper. Or you could go follow the link in the text box below this video and it will take you to some free printables that I have put up of some of my own vintage paper. And you can then get those, grab them, and put them in your own work. Make a book or make something else. So go get them. So I've made the Meander book. I haven't glued these pages down because while I could use this as a journal, I could draw on these pages or collage on them, I think I'm just going to leave this as kind of an art book, which means it just exists because it's cute by itself. I have this contrasting text, and again, I've inked up the sides here, and that would look really good. And again, it's going to add a little bit more control. I think instead I am going to go with the tea bag. You knew there was going to be a tea bag here somewhere. Let's see. So I think about like that. You don't need a lot. That's about 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to pull that across the spine. I think it's a little bit too long. So let's just trim that. Oh, blurg. And now I can just glue that down. Add some glue to the tea bag. And pull it across the back. Yeah, I think it's better that way. Just tap that into place. Pull it across the back, nice and snug, and there's your back. For the final incarnation of the Meander book today, I'm going to do a version that is a straight-up artist book. And when I say artist book, I mean this piece is not meant to be drawn in or worked in. It just exists for its own sake. The pieces that I'm going to be using in this today are a piece of paper that I tea drizzled on both sides. I'm not going to show this today because next week I have a video that's going to be just only about mark making with coffee and tea. So please stay tuned for that, and I'll show you how to make tea drizzled paper. So I made that into the square, folded it, and folded it again, and there is my Meander book. And you probably recognize the stiffened gauze from many a previous video. For the covers, I have 2 pieces of very distressed thin cardboard. And I have made these by accident. And that is because I was dyeing a ton. I spent a whole day dyeing papers for this video, and a lot of them did not even make it on camera. That happens a lot. One of the things I was trying was I took some cardboard from a box of wine. Okay, see. And I wrapped it with some rust and onion skins and boiled it in a bath of tea. I actually have a whole video online class of how to make boiled books. And I will link to that in the video, in the text box, if you want to know how to make your own boiled pages. Now, so while these were soaking in the tea, simmering away, the whole thing just came apart. The box of wine became 3 pieces of cardboard. Here's the other one. It looks really good. I will be using this in my scrap box, but not today. So it's going to be loose cover, loose cover. I'm binding them together, but I'm not going to glue them together. I want it to be messy and distressy. I have already added my holes to the cover and to the text block. And now I'm just going to sew them together with a 2-hole pamphlet stitch. And this is it. And I can actually use this as a wall hanging. I can frame this and just use it as an artist book displayed like in a floating frame. And that would look cool. There you go. All kinds of ideas for using, making tiny books and baby journals out of a single sheet of paper using the Meander fold. I hope this gives you ideas so that you can get making books in your own style. If you like journal arts and you like the content on this channel, you can make a contribution and help support the work here by following the link that's in the text box below this video. That will take you to Ko-fi. You can make a one-off donation or become a monthly member. If you would like to win these 3 mini books, all you have to do is leave me a comment or a question in the comments below this video. But you do need to have the notifications turned on. That is because if you have the notifications turned on, if you win, I will respond to your comment or question and say, hey, you won, email me. And if you don't have the notification, and if you do that, if you do have the notifications on, then you'll get an email that says, Kelly says, hey, you won. If you don't have the notifications on, you're not going to get that email. I've done a couple of drawings where the winner never responded. And that meant I did another drawing and that winner did not respond. Finally, I got somebody to write me back. So please, all you have to do is turn on the notifications. That means hit subscribe. And when you hit subscribe to my channel, there's a little tiny bell. Click on that bell and tell it that you'd like to turn on the notifications. Today, if this is in real time, this is the 15th of February. I'm going to let this go until Friday, the 21st of February. So you can leave a comment anytime between now and then. And noon on Friday, the 21st, it's my time, GMT. I will do that drawing. Until later, happy meandering.